rabbit hole. Ancient aliens, lizard kings, government plots and shadowy things, laughing while they're chasing the truth in the dark. Are we crazy? Sure, but that's the spark. So smash that like button, buckle in tight. We're going down deeper than a cue drop tonight. 10 for shining, the jokes are rolling. Hold on, folks, the truth is scrolling. Yeah, smash that like button. Welcome to the show. We're live above the rabbit hole. Mickey's on the mic, dropping jokes like bombs. Matt's taking notes while he's reading the Psalms. Bigfoot, chemtrails, a man in black. Whatever you believe, it'll make you laugh back. Was it real? Was it stage? Was the moon landing fake? Ask the boys, they know the code, or at least they'll improvise an episode. Smash that like button, let the madness roll. Welcome to the wild side, above the rabbit hole.
Yes, we are live above the rabbit hole. It is 12:03 or 12:02, depending on where you are. Because what I learned is, Matt, time's not real. And you got to give or take really a little bit.
We got people from all different time zones with us today. It just doesn't matter.
No,
and people watching the show later.
Yeah, and today's show is going to be fun because every day we have a different topic here. That's the beauty of being Rambo and Dave and them guys. You get to talk about the same stuff every day.
Yesterday was so good, though, wasn't it?
If
you haven't seen yesterday's show with News Trees and Dave, go back and watch that, man. It was just another bomb, wasn't it? It was just like gave so much perspective to all this.
Yeah, it's these heavy things every week. It's like every day it's like a new thing that stresses you out for a day, and then the next day you're like, oh, you learn all this new stuff, and you go, oh my God. But it's awesome.
The good thing about our guest today, BB, is she has been a positive force in our lives. Right?
Yeah,
we come away going like, these are the changes we need to make.
Like even when we did that show
good.
about the what's that stuff called? The
yeah.
Folic acid.
Folic acid, yes.
And then she
taught folate.
And folate. And she taught us about that. And at first that half of the show, you're like, oh my God, we're going to die. And then she's like, all you got to do is look at the labels.
And that's what I've been doing in the grocery store now. I'm looking for folic acid and everything.
And I remember the other day, this lady was at the counter, not at the counter, at the, like where all the juices and stuff are.
Yeah.
And she was reading the contents, right? And I'm next to her. And I look at her and I realize it's orange juice. Right, it's just orange juice.
Yeah.
So I look at her and I go, checking, like joking, just put to see where her head is. I go, checking to see how they're killing us, what they're putting in it. And she real calmly goes like this. Oh, you know about it too. And we both just started laughing. And she goes, yeah, I forget what she said she was looking for. It was something apparently they put in fruit juices. Yeah. That's like, they don't have to, but it preserves it forever. It like cuts it.
Look, man, it's almost like you can't buy anything at the grocery store anymore. Where you should see the kick my wife is on.
Dude,
right
you
now.
should see my diet now.
My wife
has she lost her mind over it?
She's making butter, making her own butter, making our own bread. She made homemade potato chips last night.
How were they? Don't lie.
They were awesome.
They
were
lie.
Fantastic. I'll bring you some.
Really, dude?
Yeah.
They were really good. Unsalted.
Yeah, sea salt.
She's making potato chips.
Dude, she's making.
How do you find a woman?
Everything. Listen, no, I have BB Maguire to thank for that. You know?
Dang it. Yes, BB.
It's awesome.
You know what happened with me?
Yeah.
Me and Shannon watched that show, and the next day, Shannon went out and bought 10 gallons of folic acid. And now she uses that.
You brush your teeth with it.
Yeah, I brush my teeth when
dressing.
I'm there with it. Yeah. Yeah, she bought me 10 gallons of folic acid. That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's just get out of yesterday's show, but I wanted to say thank you again to News Trees and Carlin, actually.
Yeah.
Who Carlin got a lot of reaction in the chat room.
What did you guys drove out together yesterday?
Yeah.
Where was his head at after the show yesterday?
Well, when we left here, he's like, Dad, can we go get that Italian cold cut? You got me before. And I was like, yeah. So we went to get that. And then while we were sitting there on the way there, he was like, Dad, this is really like, it's really fascinating. And I look at him and he goes, I really think I can explain this to people my age.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good grip on things. You know, these still have some questions to be answered, as we all do and did. But he's got especially for a 19-year-old kid, he's got a good head on his shoulders and a good grasp on what is actually happening in the world.
Yeah, no, you're right, 1,000%. And I try to be quiet about it because it's my son. So I don't want to sound like that guy. Oh, my son's incredible.
No,
but I will say it.
I think the audience felt that way too. You read all the comments from yesterday.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was amazing. I'm really proud of him. Really proud of him.
You should be, man.
I am. I really am.
People are already asking when he's going to start his own show.
We're working on it. Baby step. We got to get this one making money, and then we'll get to Garden. I can only afford to lose so much a week, Matt. So how's things going with you? Everything good?
Good, man. Losing a little bit of weight now.
How are you feeling overall? Mental, physical, like Matt Davis today. What kind of shape is Matt in?
I'm pretty chill these days, man. I'm trying not to let things bother me that used to bother me.
Yeah.
But, you learn all this new stuff, and you got new stuff to worry about now.
Yeah.
You know how it is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know how
but
it is.
I think I'm taking it all pretty level-headed.
Yeah,
we do our mental health Fridays.
How's your physical feeling? How you feeling?
I could do a couple more laps around the neighborhood, jog.
Yeah, you could even use maybe just standing up. Maybe you start there.
Right. Maybe just one lap.
Yeah, just
around the block.
Maybe just get off the porch. Try that one.
Yeah.
You don't even have to make the whole block.
Yeah.
Walk to the sidewalk, turn around and come back.
We're supposed to be working out in the gym.
Yeah. That went well for you, didn't it?
Yeah. You bought the membership too.
I did.
How many times you been?
I probably went, in all sincerity, 12, 15. I was really good there for a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, but
good for you.
But when you just decided not to do it, I was like, I'm not doing this by myself.
Well, I don't know if people know, but in addition to doing this full time, we're both working other jobs.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
I got the club, which isn't too bad right now. Which, by the way, this Thursday marks a big first for the comedy club, and then we're getting right into BB.
Yeah.
We're gonna stream the open mic night from Hammer Jokes this Thursday.
And I thought you were going to do it for the conspiracy night.
Well,
right?
I'm getting to that. I want to try it with the open mic so there's no pressure on the conspiracy thing.
I got you.
But the open mic is simple. That's this. But we're going to do it this week, I think. I'm going to run it right here. Just let everybody see it.
I love it, man.
By the way, would anybody be interested in watching the comedy club on here on Thursday night at 8:00, 7:30? Just bang in when you want.
Yeah.
Put a 1 in the comments. Put a 1 in the comments if you want to see the comedy club. All right. Anyway. Okay. Now, Matt, one of the big things that has happened, since the Trump administration is there's been a lot of talk about vaccines. And a lot of talk about people who are against them, and a lot of talk about what RFK Jr. is doing with them.
Yeah, he's got some new people he's brought in, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's been an amazing thing. And there's only one lady on the planet that I know I would trust completely. And she happens to be one of the coolest people you'll ever meet.
She's been a nurse for 30 years, out on the front line, 30 plus years. She's the host of Doses of Deception
and a new
Rumble,
show,
which is linked. And yeah, she has a new show, which we'll get into, coming up this Friday, debuting Deception Distilled with BB Maguire and Patrick Gunnels. It will happen 5 p.m. East this Friday, and we'll get all the details about that from her as well.
Yeah, so please welcome to the stage, in my opinion, the easiest person in the movement to listen to, the great BB Maguire. Hi, BB.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here with you guys.
So good to have you on the show finally, BB.
I'm excited.
My blood pressure just went down to the most comfortable level. Just her saying
do you want me to start reading the phone book for you, Matt?
I can start with any letter you want.
Okay. We'll read the phone book.
So, every time we talk to you, we learn all this crazy, horrible stuff. But at the end, you always tell us and make us feel better because you found the way to fix it and the way for us to know. So I'm going to let you take over for a little bit and just explain this question. What's going on with RFK Jr., vaccines, and the world that you live in right now?
Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so well, the first thing
I all the answers.
Well, I think the first thing to kind of embrace, which is what we're all doing kind of across the board, and we're all in different timelines about it, right? And that is stepping into the truth, because we have been really comfortable for a long time in the lies because we didn't know they were lies.
Right.
And so as the curtain keeps continuing to be pulled back on the truth, it's uncomfortable, right? We want to stay comfortable in the lies. But as we learn more, what we're finding out is that those lies were actually harming us on all of these different fronts. We see it financially, we see it economically, we see it from a crime perspective, from, the fact that we're getting fleeced with the fraud, and on the health front. So it's hitting us on multiple fronts. And I think the reason, I mean, we've talked about it on multiple shows, the reason is to wake folks up, because what might wake me up, which is primarily the medical stuff, might not wake up somebody else. Maybe somebody else needs to get shook financially, or shook with their personal safety, or, we're getting it on all these different fronts, and it's to make the comfort of the lies uncomfortable.
Well, BB, the thing I find most fascinating about all of this, and really you may honestly be, in my eyes, the best example of this. And I'll explain.
Okay.
Matt and I come into this world and we meet everybody from the greatest Q decoders to the greatest Bank of London guys to the greatest cabal guys, any kind of conspiracy, anything. Then we meet you, and I'm serious. Like the beauty of all this, and you're explaining it so incredibly. There's so much to take in. We've been lied to about so much. So for Matt and I, we're literally we're like doormen at the coolest nightclub in the country. You walk up and be like,
what do you need? What do you need?
What do
right
you
this
need?
way.
You a UFO guy? Pyramid
You want
guy.
health?
Yeah,
here's BB Maguire right over here.
Yeah, exactly.
The coolest doorman. That's awesome.
That's it. That's all we are. We're like the coolest doormen on the planet.
And BB, you're right, because on the way into the studio today, I was talking to Mickey, and I said, I don't know how to feel about vaccines anymore, because you're hearing such strong opinions on both sides, and it makes you afraid. You're like, it makes you afraid to get them, or it makes you afraid not to get them. So it's like, I know you're going to help us make sense of all this today.
So what we're going to talk about today is the ACIP committee, and ACIP stands for the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practice. And basically, it's an advisory committee to the CDC. And what their job was supposed to be was to evaluate vaccines and make recommendations to the CDC director as to whether or not this one should be used or this one shouldn't be used.
Yeah.
And the problem that we had prior to RFK, and I've got some notes, so I am going to refer to them, is that it was a great example of regulatory capture. I think recently, maybe it was yesterday, where or a recent show where Dave was talking about like the Chevron deference and how that really changed the regulatory stuff that we're seeing with like EPA and stuff. Well, we've had that same regulatory capture on the health front with the CDC. So before RFK, the committee members on ACIP frequently had direct financial ties, and I'm just going to pull something up here, direct financial ties to the pharmaceutical manufacturers, the vaccine manufacturers, that they were actually tasked to regulate.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
So
it sounds familiar, right? It's happening with food and drugs across the board, it seems like.
So when RFK came in, now get this, you guys are going to love this. He fired or dismissed, however you'd like to say it, are you ready, Mickey? 17 sitting members of the ACIP committee.
Wow.
17 of them.
Yeah.
all
BB
17
I know.
of them. And it was a big brouhaha, right? Oh my, and the headline, and I'm sitting back here snickering. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Really? It's exactly 17
Is that the
members.
entire panel, or was it just 17 of them?
He got rid of everybody.
The
He
entire
got rid
panel
of
It's like
everybody.
it was 17 in the first place.
Yeah.
Hey, BB, quick question. I
Uh-huh.
don't know if you knew this. Last Wednesday, we had a freak show, and it went up to almost 600,000 views. I don't know if you saw that.
Our
on
moon
Wednesday.
show. Yeah.
Our moon show went to 600.
Did it really?
Yeah, but here's the funniest part. Matt and I were so excited about where we were going to land on the leaderboard. We thought for sure we had a top 10 show. And
It was even better, though.
was
We didn't
even
get
better.
top 10.
we came in at 17.
Yeah.
And mine-
Oh, of course you did. Of course you did.
it was
That's
so
awesome.
awesome.
Isn't that exciting though? That is
Yeah.
so exciting.
Last night after the Q school with Dave, we debut at number 10. Like this little tiny show. We're like the little engine that could.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I
All
love
right,
it for you
back to
guys.
you, Mama. So
All right,
what-
so I just threw something in the tray, Matt. This is an example of what the old ACIP committee's financial ties look like.
Yeah.
So you see, Dr. Helen, she's getting 425,000 from Sanofi, and that is a flu manufacturer. The next one got 66,000 in payments and over 3.6 million in associated research funding from manufacturers, including Pfizer, Merck, GlaxoSmithKline. I mean, it just goes on and on. This is a great example of the capture of the previous committee members.
Yeah. I mean, that's hardcore conflict of interest, right?
Oh yeah, and that was the basis for RFK getting rid of all of them.
Now where
So-
should they get their funding, would you say?
Well, they shouldn't be funded by pharma and be sitting on ACIP. If you want
Right,
to get
yeah.
funded by pharma, great.
Yeah.
You can whore for pharma if you want,
yeah,
but you
can't
don't
take
get to sit
money.
on the ACIP committee and do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
You don't get to take the money and then regulate yourself. Any normal person knows that.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Like I said, it's been across the board, though, in food and drugs, unfortunately. It's sad.
Yeah,
Scary.
so you can take that down. So essentially what was happening, these pharma compromised folks were then meeting in private in these private working groups. And that was all kind of shrouded from the public's view. We didn't get to see any of it. There was no transparency. And then these compromised members were able to kind of shape the narrative and influence the votes. And then they would have public votes on, hey, we recommend this one. And hey, we recommend that one. So essentially the old ACIP committee rubber stamped everything that Big Pharma brought,
Unbelievable.
and they make those recommendations to CDC. So RFK came in, and it was on June 9th of 2025. He dismissed all 17 members, and he cited conflicts of interest. He appoints all new members. I'm going to give you guys the timeline first.
Okay.
June 25th to 27th of 2025, this new ACIP committee meets, and they discuss a few things, and then they meet again in September. And in September, they removed thimerosal. Now, what is thimerosal? Thimerosal is basically mercury, and it had been removed from most of the childhood vaccines, except the flu vaccine in multi-dose vials, and I'm going to explain it. Thimerosal is basically mercury. It's a known neurotoxin, but it was in these multi-dose vials that look like this, okay?
Yeah.
It was in a multi-dose vial because when you have a multi-dose vial, like at a busy pediatrics office, I'm going to go in and out of this bottle drawing up doses, okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Over and over and over again. I might have 50 to 100 flu vaccine doses in one vial.
Right.
So
Got
when you're going through that plunger in and out with the needle, they wanted it to have the mercury in it, thimerosal, to preserve it, to keep bacteria and fungi from growing in the multi-dose vial.
Yeah.
So this was the last bastion of where thimerosal was in these multi-dose vials in like a busy pediatrics office. Because if you get to a single dose, like for instance, this is a flu vaccine.
Yeah.
Single dose, you put a needle on it, Okay, there's no thimerosal in this. There was only thimerosal in this. And so
Our
this
kids are
this
getting it.
so ACIP said, "Hey, we shouldn't be using the multi-dose vials with thimerosal in it anymore because mercury is harmful to the kids. So you pediatrics offices, you got to go back to using these single dose vaccines."
That's amazing.
Seems reasonable, right? So again, that was in September. And then in December, all hell broke loose. December 4th and 5th of 2025, the committee met and they voted. And then in January, the CDC adopted what they recommended. And this is what it was. They recommended that the childhood vaccination schedule be reduced in the number of routine recommendations, and hepatitis, rotavirus, flu, COVID, RSV, and meningococcal vaccines all became what they call risk-based and shared decision making. So in simple terms, what that means is, hey, we, the CDC, are saying to you guys, we're no longer making this a universal thing. We're saying, hey, why don't you evaluate it based on the risk of the child and have a shared decision-making conversation with your doctor. If you guys decide together you want to get it, it's available. If you decide I don't want to get it, then you don't have to get it. And basically what that took away is the ability for like schools to mandate these things because they're no longer universally recommended on the schedule.
Do you know how many it is, BB? How many vaccinations do children receive now compared to, like, let's say Mick and I and you got when we were children?
Yeah, say the late 60s to now. Like, what's the jump?
I think it was from 8 to 72 by the time you hit school
8
age.
to 72?
Unbelievable.
Now, I don't hold me to that exactly. I'd have to actually look that up and make sure. But it's an astronomical jump. Astronomical jump. And so the interesting thing about that is, and this is what like Aaron Siri, who actually, he is a vaccine lawyer, and he represents ICANN, the Informed Consent Action Network with Del Bigtree. Aaron Siri actually presented at that December ACIP committee meeting, and his presentation was like 2 hours, 72 slides. I mean, he brought the heat, man. And his whole thing is like, hey, wait a minute. If they're so safe and effective, how come not a single vaccine on the childhood routine schedule has ever been tested against a placebo?
Wow, you're kidding me.
We assume,
Right.
Yeah.
right, it's effective. Well, the only way you can test that it's effective would be that it works better than the kid who didn't get it and got a placebo, except we don't have that data.
Hey,
And
BB,
you,
I have a question. Really, two. But I didn't want to interrupt you. The first one, I have to back up a little bit. That 8 to 73 or whatever it was, and I realize you're not perfect on those numbers, but to the best of your knowledge, what happened in 30 years, 40 years, that we increased vaccines by 65 different chemicals going in our body? That's the first question.
the 1986 Vaccine Act.
But I mean, did they say in it why all these new things were needed? And if so, are those things?
Here's a question for you, Mickey.
Okay.
Did you get, I'll start with me.
Sure.
I'm 60 years old. As a child, I had chickenpox. I had mumps. I had measles, mumps, chickenpox. What I
Her
think there was
nickname
another
was
one.
Lucky when she was a kid.
Anyway, like we had them. I mean, I was just telling my husband this week, I loved getting the mumps, man. Your face swelled up a little bit. You sat and ate ice cream. You got to watch Price is Right and stay home from school.
For a
I mean,
week
it was
and a
no big
half.
deal, right?
Yeah,
So,
totally agree.
but today there has been this fear push. Oh, you have to be afraid of everything. Measles will kill your child. Mumps will kill your child. Chickenpox will kill your child. You must vaccinate. Well, why must we vaccinate? We got those things as a kid. I didn't need a vaccine. I got chickenpox. We used to have chickenpox parties.
Did kids
Right?
get measles when we were kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got the
I
measles.
remember that.
I never got
Okay.
the measles. Kids in my school. I remember a kid in my school getting the measles. We made fun of them forever. I'll tell you how dumb I was back then. When somebody told me somebody got the measles, I thought it was like a little mouse or a rat, a measle, but it was a weasel. I'm not even being funny.
Yeah.
The first time I heard measle, I'm like, what are they? And my friend's like, they're like bumps. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, it's not a little pet. And everybody laughed at me. And a career was born. I told my first joke.
There you go.
People scared the crap out of me with the measles. They were like, this is going to wipe out a population if we don't vaccinate people for the measles,
man. We're
right?
all dead.
Wasn't that kind of the way it was in the 70s?
I don't remember being afraid of any of this stuff.
Yeah.
No,
none of it. Like
BB,
we just didn't grow up afraid of it.
how much do you think, or is it public knowledge, what the profit margin is on these vaccines for the hospital and B?
They're making a bunch of money. I'm sure. I had a lot of stuff open before my computer crashed when we were backstage.
Okay, hon.
But anyway, I will tell you this. So when they made those recommendations to the vaccine schedule in December, in addition, they also stopped mandating COVID vaccines for healthy children and for pregnant mothers. And just that change alone, making it not universally recommended, just, hey, how about if you and your doctor have a conversation about it and make a decision?
Yeah.
That alone would have cost vaccine manufacturers hundreds of millions of dollars in lost revenue. Even if the vaccines were still available, just shared decision making. That tells you how much money they're making over mandated vaccines. Look at COVID-19. If they had left COVID-19 vaccination up to you deciding with your doctor whether or not you should get it, I mean, how many people do you guys know got the COVID vaccine because they had to for their job, or they had to because they needed to travel?
Everybody.
Exactly. So then when you apply that mindset to how much money Pfizer and Moderna made on COVID vaccines, would they have made that kind of money had they not been mandated? The same thing is happening to our children.
Hey, I'm sorry, Matt, just real quick. There's a lot of talk about autism and vaccines. And just so you know, I'm in my life, there's a child with autism that I've known now for, 13 years. I met him when he was 4. He's going to be 17 in a couple days. 17. But Matt's met him. He's an amazing kid named Owen. And his mom in the chat room just said, this is a legit question. It's why I want to ask it. I'm not Jenny McCarthy, but I'm convinced the amount of vaccines they pump in kids is one cause of autism. And I am pretty positive it affected Owen. You can see the regression in him as he was a toddler. Oh, thank you, Matt. Yep. I didn't know if you could find it in there. BB, can you just for a minute, and I don't want to hijack the show, but speak to that a little bit, because I've seen that word come up a couple times in the chat room today, connecting it with vaccines. Walk us down that road a little bit.
Well, the first thing I will say is that back when we did the episode on MTHFR, right? Mm-hmm. We know that half of our country has MTHFR gene mutations. And in a real simple understanding, it just means that we cannot, if we have this gene mutation, we cannot break down folic acid into folate. And we have folate receptors all over our body. We need that folate. Folate deficiency in the brain has been correlated with autism. So again, if half of the kids have MTHFR gene mutations and they're eating food, all of our food sprayed with folic acid, that folic acid blocks the folate receptors. So now these kids they have too much folic acid and they are folate deficient. And again, folate deficiency in the brain associated with autism.
BB, have there been any signs of if you then change the diet or give this kid the folate that it needs, Has there been improvements in the autistic community?
Well, the FDA just recently approved of course, a new drug called leucovorin, which is basically folate. It's methylated folate that passes the blood-brain barrier and helps address the cerebral or brain folate deficiency. So that's just one aspect of the autism, right? God. And then what I think your friend was asking about is the cumulative effect. And what Aaron Siri continues to harp on is the fact that we have absolutely zero data, no scientific data, no studies of what the cumulative effect of these vaccines are. So if I'm a vaccine manufacturer and I'm going to go to the ACIP committee and say, hey, here's my formulation for this vaccine, and I'm going to give you all of the data about all the clinical trials and all the study, all the data on my vaccine. But what I never present to you is how does this vaccine with this vaccine and then this vaccine, that data does not exist. And that's what I think a lot of the parents are up in arms about, is that how can you continue to tell us that this vaccine schedule, vaccine after vaccine after vaccine, is safe for my child when you have never looked at how do all of these vaccines work together?
No data. There's literally no data
of the combinations. Hey, BB, would you recommend that new medicine that's been approved for a child with autism if the parent finds out that their child is the folate receptor,
the folate deficiency?
Yeah. Would you recommend it?
I think the way that they determine that is they look to see if you have antibodies, and then they dose that based on the fact that there's antibodies against the folate receptors, and then they would prescribe the leucovorin. But again, my understanding is like little.
Sure, no, I understand. But would you go to your primary care or your pediatrician for this medicine?
Probably.
Or would this be a specialty?
Probably. You can. It's FDA approved now. I think what I would attempt to do first would be cut out all the folic acid and supplement with the really good, methylated B vitamins so that my child was getting the nutrients that they needed. And because when you get on top, and then on top of all of that, which is what opened up the rabbit hole for me, and that was when Donald Trump stood up at the podium with RFK and said, I'll say it, Bobby has to be careful, but I'll say it, don't take Tylenol, it's bad.
Right.
And that blew me back in my chair. I'm going, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Right.
I've been a nurse 35 years. I've been telling people to take Tylenol, telling parents to give Tylenol to their kids. What do you mean it's bad?
Yeah.
So essentially, when anyone takes Tylenol, you, me, children, infants, Tylenol gets metabolized in the liver and it creates a toxic metabolite called NAPQI, NAPQI. And it's just toxic. Well, a normal person that doesn't have this gene mutation that we keep talking about, a normal person's system would clear that toxic metabolite.
Wow.
Unless you were overdosing on Tylenol, right?
Right.
But for half of the population that have MTHFR, we can't clear that metabolite. We don't have enough glutathione, which is this master antioxidant, the house cleaner. We don't have enough of it to get rid of that toxic metabolite. So imagine this scenario. A child, an infant, you don't know whether or not they have the gene mutation or not, goes in and first, the parent is told, well, pre-medicate your 6-month-old with Tylenol before you come in to get all these shots, because apparently that 6-month visit is a doozy, lots of shots. Pre-medicate with Tylenol. So if your kid has MTHFR, the kid is already glutathione deficient, the house cleaner deficient, because it's busy trying to get rid of that NAPQI from the Tylenol.
You know why that's
Then you're going to load in a bunch of vaccines full of aluminum, neurotoxic. The kid can't clear those toxins. And then we see a change in their behavior.
Yeah. No, you're right. And that's exactly what she saw over time. You know, go ahead, Matt. You said.
No, I was just saying it scares me because there was a period in my life where I was taking Tylenol PM often before I'd go to bed at night.
Yeah.
So I look back on that. My question, BB, actually kind of dovetails off of Mickey's question. And like, what other adverse effects are kids seeing from taking these vaccines?
Well, a lot of the vaccines have aluminum. Aluminum is a known neurotoxin. The other thing that aluminum is really great for, according to RFK, is that if I was in a laboratory with all my little laboratory mice and I wanted to study allergies, I wanted to induce, let's say, a peanut allergy so that I could study how this allergy works, or I wanted to study medication or whatever. How would I induce a peanut allergy into mice in my laboratory? I would give them aluminum, and then I would introduce the peanut protein.
This makes so much sense because, you know, it didn't exist when we were in school that you couldn't bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in, but a kid can't do that now at a lot of schools. My daughter's school, when she was in elementary school, they wouldn't allow peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in for that reason. I guess so many kids have nut allergies, and that could very well be the reason why, I guess.
So the aluminum in the vaccine and then exposure to a particular protein, and you develop allergies to that protein. It could be ragweed, it could be timothy weed, it could be milk protein, it could be peanut protein, it could be, you know,
seafood, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Before my daughter got her allergies.
Well, I'll tell you something interesting. I'm not kidding you. I bet I was in my 20s before I met the second person in my life that had a peanut allergy.
Yeah.
Now, since my 20s, I've met 500. It's like, and they're all younger than me.
Right.
So,
well, think about like you go out to a restaurant and now they have to ask you, are there any allergies at the table? You know, they have to, because it's so prevalent. And, you know, what's the difference?
Yeah.
We weren't getting the cumulative dose of aluminum like the kids today are.
What is their reason for putting aluminum in these vaccines? Do you know what purpose?
Okay, this is the one that really gets me going.
Get into the heavy metals and how they help us.
So essentially, all right, again, I'm going to go back to, we know they did not placebo test. Okay.
Right.
Allegedly, aluminum is placed into the vaccine to enhance our immune system's response to the vaccine. God. Now, wait a minute. Let's walk through this slow. Yeah. So they're putting a known heavy metal neurotoxin into the vaccines to enhance our immune response. So if you put that tape in and play it all the way through, the next obvious question is, well, okay, so are our immune systems responding to this known neurotoxin heavy metal, or are we actually responding to the vaccine? Which is it? So how effective is that vaccine then? We don't know, because we have no studies that show what our immune response would look like without the aluminum.
Unbelievable. So we currently still have aluminum in our vaccines.
Correct.
Is what I'm saying.
And Matt, it's for the nut allergies, by the way. And Matt, you just missed it. If you scroll up a little bit, Icy1 had a funny comment. Go up right there. Read that.
Hope Matt doesn't have nut allergies because he's sitting next to one.
Oh, that's fantastic.
BB, you're giving my secret away.
I see one. That's awesome.
BB, everything, I mean, you know, 100 times more than we do. And I realize that, you know, a lot of your research is all on you. It's unbelievable. But going back to the autism thing, do you see it if they can adjust these vaccines and we can get a grip on this, do you believe autism would decline rapidly?
Yes.
What the fuck? Like,
well, man, listen, it's the same thing as the nut allergies, man. Like, you know, you didn't really, I don't remember hearing a lot about autism when I was young, But now it seems
it's
like
because it's continuing to go up and up and up and up and up. And
Yeah.
the thing is that I keep going back to that press conference with Trump and RFK because there was so much in there. He stood up there and said, I've been waiting 20 years to have this press conference. Bobby and I met 20 years ago and had a
remember watching
conversation
that.
about this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
20 years. And then when you go back and you look at what was going on 20 years ago, well, 20 years ago, they started talking about the fact that, hey, this MTHFR thing, and 20 years ago, they knew that Tylenol was depleting glutathione and it might be a problem. And they withheld all of that information from the public. They withheld it.
How nobody gets arrested. Or at least like taken out into the mall at DC and like 3 guys get to beat them up till they're almost dead.
Well,
I don't understand.
Welcome to our frustration, Mickey. Because
I wonder what are all those ACIP people doing today? I mean, do they still?
Well, let me address what Mickey was talking about first, because the frustration of awakening.
Yeah,
Once you awaken, man, you want some justice now.
Yeah.
And I just woke up 6 years ago. You guys are just kind of, jumping into this whole truth space. There are people that have been doing this for a decade or more and waiting for some justice and accountability. It's got to happen in the timeline that those with a much higher security clearance than us understand. And so I'm simply trusting. And the reason I'm trusting is because I do see movement in the right direction.
Me too.
If we were still back during the Biden era and we could see that we were going backwards, I think I would probably black pill. But I don't see that. I'm seeing movement. It's incremental, but it's going in the right direction. So it gives me hope. And I just try to be patient.
I'm with you, BB. I feel like I actually see things happening. So I feel like I don't have the same frustrations that I think the early Anons did, because I'm actually seeing things. Real quick, I want to thank Double L555, $10 rant. Hi, all. Happy Tuesday. I'm sure I will see the great Lisa tomorrow. BB, you got to come up one of these Wednesdays for the conspiracy night and meet people. They ask about you every week.
I got one from Anna Sequoia here, $5. Good day from Northern California. Fantastic show yesterday. Carlin is an amazing young man. Can't wait to see him with Owen. Here's a little towards his new show.
Layla's Nana, $10 rant. BB and the boys, I love you all. Thank you for everything you do. This Wi-Fi on the plan is awesome. I thought I would have to listen on replay. This made my day.
Thank you so much.
You remember Patricia.
Of course.
She's the best.
She is.
And you know what I was doing last night, Matt?
What's that?
Playing with my silver.
Like
a little child.
Yeah, man. You came home and you were like a leprechaun.
It was so
pot
nice.
of gold when you came home, didn't you?
Yes. BB, your show tonight, 8 p.m. Is that right?
Yes.
Doses of Deception, please, everyone.
And then her new show on Friday, and that's with Patrick Gunnels, which we'll get into in a little bit here. That's going to be every Friday now, 5 p.m. East with Patrick.
We are talking to the great BB Maguire, who is amazing at what she does.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
So, I wanted to kind of know, like, what happened to these former ACIP people, number one? And number two, do you think they're going to be, what kind of repercussions could we see when you've got people on this board that are on the up and up and not on the take from drug companies?
The first thing we saw was transparency. Transparency was the first thing we saw, when they were meeting. So the new committee met in June and in September, and then again in December, and they made all those recommendations to change the childhood vaccine schedule, right? And then in January, the CDC adopted all of that. Well, guess who wasn't happy with that? The American Academy of Pediatrics. If you want to throw that graphic up, Matt. So in July 7th of 2026, the American Academy of Pediatrics filed a lawsuit against HHS and RFK. and they filed it in Massachusetts. And what they challenged was RFK firing all the original ACIP members that I just showed you were all compromised by vaccine manufacturers on the take, right?
Yeah.
They also challenged the removal of the COVID vaccine for healthy children and pregnant women.
Huh.
Now, as I go through this, the graphic that's up on the screen,
why though, BB?
you're looking at the why.
Look at the bottom of the page.
Because they're not getting the kickbacks.
This is who the corporate donors, the biggest corporate donors to the American Academy of Pediatrics are.
Unreal.
Pfizer, Merck, Moderna, and Sanofi, all vaccine manufacturers.
All the people.
All of these manufacturers, I told you guys, the change to the schedule would have resulted in hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue lost for those companies. So on their behalf, the American Academy of Pediatrics filed a lawsuit against HHS and RFK. They said, hey, you shouldn't have been able to fire the ACIP members that were on there and compromised and doing our dirty work. They said, no, you can't remove the COVID vaccine requirements for healthy children and pregnant women.
Yeah, you
What?
can. Yes, you can.
They also cited in their
there.
lawsuit that all of the votes in December and the changing of the vaccine schedule, that is all in the lawsuit. Well, on March 16th, just a month ago, U.S. District Judge Brian Murphy issued an injunction. You can take that down now, Matt, because I'm going to give you another one.
Yeah.
So this judge issues an injunction, and basically this injunction stayed all of the new ACIP appointments, blocked all of the new votes, and then that revised schedule that CDC put out in January overturned all of it, and even overturned the COVID directive. So now basically brought us right back to where we were under Biden with this one injunction. And here's the cool thing. It was literally, the injunction came out 2 days before ACIP was supposed to be meeting. That would let me put this up. So ACIP was going to be meeting March 18th and 19th, and this injunction came out 2 days before. So throw that up. This is what ACIP was supposed to be talking about 2 days after that injunction stopped everything. From the high wire, some thought this day would never come. For years, the vaccine injured were dismissed, gaslit, called liars, told that their symptoms were anxiety, told VAERS reports were meaningless, told the science was settled and the conversation was over. On March 18th and 19th, ACIP, the Federal Vaccine Advisory Committee, will formally take up COVID-19 vaccine injuries. The agenda includes COVID vaccine injuries, long COVID, potential votes on changing the COVID vaccine recommendations based on evidence of harm. Dr. Robert Malone described the underlying injury data as politically explosive and says he is currently under embargo from discussing the details publicly. So this was what they were going to be talking about, and the injunction stopped it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and that's February of this year.
This was March. This was a month ago. They were supposed to be meeting March 18th and 19th. And the American Academy of Pediatrics injunction was March the 16th.
Yeah.
2 days before.
Incredible. And I mean, isn't another hurdle that they're going to have to, figure out with all the schools as well, what they require the kids to have when they come into school?
Well, basically what the new recommendations were going to be able to do was to allow children, their parents, to have a discussion with their doctors. So if a child chose not to get an MMR, if parents chose not to give their 24-hour-old infant a hepatitis B vaccine because an infant is at risk of hepatitis B.
Yeah.
That it couldn't be mandated, because that's the power of ACIP. That is its amazing power. I'll show you this. Let me grab this. ACIP, ACIP now under this, well, I'm going to get to it. There's a new charter. But
Maybe I'll tell you what, I'll give you a second to get exactly where you want, because I want to say, Matt, you know, when we're talking about all this with the medical stuff, and you you realize how widespread all of it is, then it's so easy to just link right to the insurance companies, and the other side right to big ag, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
you see the three biggest power players in our society: food, medicine, insurance, are all in cahoots, all backing each other, all hiding everything from everyone.
And we got half the country. We got the media, you know, having half the country believe that RFK is just a complete nut job.
Well, then you have to follow the money on that, because, you know, if the majority of people are getting their information from mainstream media, all you have to do is look at the revenue stream. Who is mainstream media's largest advertisers? Big Pharma.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're going to be parroting Big Pharma talking points. It's a given. So the ACIP committee.
And BB, I would like to take this moment in front of you, in front of Matt. I want to welcome to the show anyone that would like to challenge any guest that we ever have. Meaning, if somebody comes in and says, no, BB, you're wrong, here's why, and they say the things you're saying aren't true, or that this and that, I can't wait for those moments when someone like you gets one of these detractors in front of them, telling you how wrong you are and spreading false narratives or whatever they do, that you just go, yeah, let's talk about it. And you show them all this stuff. I just want to watch people's faces melt in front of the world.
Well, the thing for me is that I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. You know, for me, I'm on a quest of truth,
knowledge,
inquiry for me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, once I figured out during COVID that these bastards were lying to me, and trying to get me to do something that was potentially harmful. And then I realized, and you bastards used me to harm people because I believed you when you were lying to me. That it was game on at that point for me. I'm going to find out all I can, because clearly there's an agenda at play. There is a harm agenda. And when you look at all of it, medicine right now, the way our medical system is set up, it is not set up on patient outcomes. For instance, your doctor doesn't give a rat's ass whether or not you get better. It's just that simple, because your doctor is going to bill and get paid regardless of your outcome.
I mean, the funny thing is, I've said this on stage, but it's just so true. Doctors are legal drug dealers.
Well, let me ask you though. But let me ask you. I mean, aren't there some well-meaning doctors out there who are victims of this as you are? As you are?
Sure, though.
Yes. Yeah, because you weren't giving people stuff to harm them. You weren't getting kickbacks to give people Tylenol and the COVID vaccine or whatever.
So how do you think, Matt, you would be able to discern which medical professional is in the camp that you just described and which medical professional isn't?
Hard, of course.
You know what?
Well, I think a real simple question is to ask them open-ended questions and see how they respond. Because if you give me information that challenges my worldview or challenges my belief system, at this point, because I'm open, I'm going to go, really? Can you give me more information on that, or tell me how I could learn more about that? Because that's new information for me. I'm not going to dismiss you. The majority of folks that I encounter, and I think in the medical profession, because I'm up front and close to it, I haven't seen such pig-headed denial as strong as it is in medicine. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that if Well, first of all, the uptake of the COVID-19 vaccine in medicine was probably one of the highest areas because we were all working, right? So when you look at doctors, nurses, respiratory therapists, physical therapists, all these different medical professionals, almost all of them got those vaccines. So in order to even have a conversation about vaccine safety or effectiveness, they are coming and confronting right here the fact that maybe they got duped. And they don't want to admit that. Yeah, because it requires a lot of humility to admit, oh shit, maybe I got that wrong.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard for people, especially who demand that you put the doctor when you address them in front of their name. You know what I mean?
Oh, hell, Mickey, when I first started nursing, there were nurses that if a doctor walked into the nurses' station, nurses would get up out of their chair and let the doctor have a seat. That didn't happen with Maguire, I can tell you that. But anyway, that was the idea, that you don't question a doctor's authority. You never question what the doctor tells you, and what I'm trying to impart to people is those days are over.
Yeah.
Because you have to accept the fact that your doctor is not concerned about your well-being. Your doctor is concerned about billing for the 15-minute visit you just came in for, making sure that you got your statin prescription and your metformin prescription and all of the things that are dictated, again, Mickey, like you said, by the insurance companies so they can meet the quarterly bonus from Blue Cross Blue Shield this quarter.
You know what, BB, you're absolutely right. You're making me think about a conversation that I had with my wife. She went for a yearly visit to the dermatologist. And they told her that she had some kind of condition on her face, which she didn't. It was very odd. They told her that she had rosacea. She quite obviously does not have rosacea. And they tried to push this drug, and they were trying to tell her, oh, yeah, it's there. And you can take this drug, and it'll make it all better. And she later told a couple of her friends about it. And two of her other friends told her that they had the same sales pitch about the same drug pushed on them about rosacea, which they didn't have.
Because what those patients don't know is that probably 2 days prior, the pharma reps for that drug came into the office and brought in all kinds of crap and offered all kinds of bonuses and incentives for that doctor to push that drug. And if that doctor meets a certain mark by the end of the month or by the end of the quarter, then that doctor gets their incentive. It's never, ever, ever about what's best for you. It's always about what's best for them.
BB, I had it years ago. Kids were little. I went to a weird doctor one time. I forget what for. I had something, and they sent me to this specialist to see if it was something. I don't even remember. But I'm in this office, and I'm talking. There was just a girl, and the doctor was running late. Literally wasn't even there yet. And so I'm talking to her, and I said to her, I remember saying, I go, do a lot of people get this? And she just looked at me, and she went, well, a lot of people are told they do.
That's how she said it to you?
That was somebody telling you the truth.
Wait till I tell you what happened next. I go, What do you mean? She goes, well, all I know is I've been here 8 years. And all of a sudden, in the last 17 months, this disease pops up that we treated differently for the first 7 years. And I go, why are you doing it now? She goes, I don't know. But I know the rep for this drug is sending the doctor to Vegas.
Wow.
And I went,
exactly.
Wow.
That's how the system works.
Wonder how long they lasted there.
So was that real?
Hopefully a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That stuff happens. They'll send a doctor on a trip.
Listen.
Oh, yeah. Now, what they'll do is cover it and say, oh, well, he's coming out to be a speaker.
Got ya.
At an event with all expenses paid, and he's going to stand at a podium and talk some kind of crap for 30 minutes, and he's got an all expenses paid trip to Vegas.
That's why it's...
because he's a speaker.
My mother wanted me to be a doctor when I was little, Matt. And I said, no, I'm going to travel to places and they're going to pay me to speak. And I'm not going to know anything. I'm way better than a doctor.
I'm not going to throw the family member under the bus, but I got a family member who works in a medical facility, and it's like nice lunches come in on the daily.
Yeah.
I'll give you a real world example. I was a brand new nurse, brand spanking new.
Yeah. Slow down.
And we had this big luncheon in the break room. At this point, I'm working in the ER. I'm a brand new nurse. And man, there was this massive spread and all of this crap, trinkets, things for our stethoscopes and pens and trinkets, just marketing trinkets. The drug was an antibiotic. Now here I am, this brand new nurse 30 years ago, and I'm going, okay, well, can I ask you a question? Why are you having this luncheon for nurses for an antibiotic? We don't write prescriptions for antibiotics. The answer was, well, you guys have a lot of pull with the doctors. And I said, well, here's a thought. Maybe, just maybe, instead of spending all of the money that you spent on this very lavish lunch and all of this marketing crap, maybe if you reduce the prices of your blood pressure medicine, 90% of the patients that I have out there in the ER in congestive heart failure who can't afford their blood pressure medicines might not have to suffer the way that they are.
Yeah. Or here's an idea. How about
30 years ago?
Yeah,
how about you cure something for us?
Hey, I bet you just stop it.
Cure for cancer or
Hey, BB, one of the things I always wonder, like when I do these shows with you, I'm just how I work. I start thinking I'm building a law case in my head. I can't help it. I'm going to sue somebody in my head, apparently. But I guess my question is, when you can clearly see that, would you be against a law that said it is illegal to advertise a drug to the public? But I get why we need to know, because then they can buy drugs.
No, the United States and New Zealand are the only two countries on the face of the planet that allow direct-to-consumer pharmaceutical advertising.
So
because it's not so much the fact that pharmaceutical companies are, sending commercials to us. That's not the issue. The issue is by doing that, the pharmaceutical companies buy up the airtime and therefore control the media. Because if I work for Fox News and 90% of our advertising revenue is coming from Pfizer, am I going to ever talk badly about Pfizer and keep my job?
I'm figuring it out. Apparently, BB, it's a money grab.
There you go.
In addition, though, don't they repurpose these drugs so you go and you ask for it at your doctor too? I mean, it's probably a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's all of it's insanity. I'll give you another example of medicine.
I'm sorry. Where do you fall on the shots for the people losing weight?
Do you really want to ask me that?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
How about this? How about you get up off your ass, stop eating junk, and start moving?
That's the tough talk I needed today, BB. Thank you.
You know what's problem?
Everybody, but honestly,
every day and say
I
that
can't blame people, because here's the reality. Here is the reality, and my profession has done this. Yeah. I see it every single day. Here's a great example. 3 weeks ago, I had a male patient. I was recovering from gallbladder surgery. He just had his gallbladder taken out. I'm going over the discharge instructions with the wife in the recovery area. And she says, well, I have a question. So are we going to leave here, with a pill? And she's doing this, to help. The patient says, well, we already picked up the pain medicine. I already have that at home. She said, no, not the pain medicine. A pill to help and I looked at her and I said, you mean to help with digestion? And she said, yeah, that. And I said, ma'am, we don't have a pill to give you that's going to replace the function of an organ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the reality, guys. We, as the medical profession, being nothing but, drug dealers, pushing drugs, we've created a society that expects a pill for every ill.
Yeah, it's almost like we should be going to a dietitian or a health expert instead of a doctor every year, and have the dietitian or the health person tell you what's wrong with your life and how to change it and make it more healthy.
Functional nutritionists are going to have very high in demand jobs, I think, in the next decade. And RFK just recently announced that medical schools starting this fall, I think at this point we're up to 53 or 54 different medical schools that will be mandating nutrition education for medical students.
Yeah, I mean, tell people.
Now,
Most
think
people
about that.
Our doctors have about the same health education that everybody who's going for a 4-year degree.
Yeah, this is where shit gets crazy.
Yeah, if you are regularly in AI looking up nutrition information, you have more information than your doctor does. End of story. Because your doctor isn't spending any time in AI looking that up because he's too busy doing other things. And he never got trained or educated.
I always think it's good if somebody can add like a personal proof of that. I was talking to I was on psych meds for 25 years. Yeah, 25 years. A year and a half ago, completely came off of them. But I'm going to tell you
that explains so much.
Agreed, BB.
Welcome to my life.
Sadly, though, there is evidence that I'm no different. I'm no different in those 25 years. But I was in with my doctor, and I was coming. I told the guy, I was like, "Look, I'm going to stop taking everything," and he said, "Oh, but you got to wean off." And I looked him dead in the face, and I went, "Nah, I don't." And he said, "No, you can really blah blah blah." I go, "Buddy, I've not had insurance and my medicines run out, and I didn't have money for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. I lived through it. It's uncomfortable for about 4 or 5 days, but then the brain fog was gone. I felt healthier. I was wiser, more alert. Yes, I may be a little more emotional at times, and I realize there's work that's got to be done to deal with that without medicine, but I wasn't numb anymore."
Right.
And once I realized that, I went with medicine. I went, you know what? Something's not right here, because I actually feel better coming off of that, where I would have to spend $600 a month. I really think about that. People ask me like, "What happened?" Everything, and then I couldn't even afford to take care of myself. It's absolute crazy.
Yeah.
And it's
not very helpful.
Nothing helped me.
Well, I'll give you another real world example. My sister was hospitalized a month ago. She's 3 years younger than me, so she's 57. She went into the ER because her blood sugar was elevated, her blood pressure was elevated, and she was having vertigo, really severe dizziness. So they admit her to the hospital. They do massive workups, cardiac workup, neuro workup. She had 2 MRIs, an ultrasound, an echocardiogram. I mean, anything and everything that they could have tested and billed for, they did. I mean, I got to the hospital. I was like, "You must have really good insurance because they're going to run every test known to man." So she gets discharged 4 days later. Again, I'm going to reiterate. She went into the emergency room with high blood sugar, high blood pressure, and vertigo. She left, and her discharge diagnoses on her discharge paperwork, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and vertigo, and she had 6 new prescriptions. They never determined the cause. They never fixed the problem. They just sent her out the door with a lot more medicine to manage the symptoms.
Yeah, wallpaper over the hole.
Fast forward 5 to 6 weeks now. She is no longer taking insulin. She's no longer taking any diabetic medicines. She's off of blood pressure medicines, and her vertigo has improved significantly all through one simple thing, which is what I preach over and over and over and over and over. Diet. Her diet alone
Yeah.
You know, BB,
changed everything.
I want during that time I was on those meds, right?
Mhm.
I gained probably 40 pounds, maybe 50. Let me think. I had probably almost 60 in a 5'3" frame, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of
My
weight.
heart rate the entire time I was on them was through the roof.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right? While I was on the meds. Then they put me on, I'm not my heart rate, my blood pressure through the roof on these meds. Then they put me on blood pressure medicine.
Because you got to have the other drug to manage
counter
the
this
symptoms of the first drug.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's about 3 more drugs that at one point I was taking for this or that. Listen, a year and a half now, or whatever that comes out to mathematic wise, when I quit, I literally don't have any physical problems. My heart's good. My blood pressure's good. My cholesterol is good.
Wow.
I am living proof. And here's the only way I lost weight, I think, was that I literally changed the way I ate. I just ate for 7 minutes, stopped, waited 5 minutes. I told you this, Matt.
Yeah.
And you watched me lose, what, 20 some pounds?
Yeah.
30 almost?
Yeah, it was pretty significant.
Yeah. And BB, it is, you said it earlier, get off your ass, eat less or eat better, and just move. Just move.
Yeah.
I ate whatever I wanted. I just didn't eat 3 pounds of it every day.
Let's read a couple of these because I think there's some questions in here for you, BB.
right.
Evan Jesse J, $1. Hey guys, I was going to watch live on ScrewTube to up your algorithm, but I see you haven't put any new videos up in 4 days.
Yeah,
we're exclusively here on Rumble now.
Yeah, but
and Rumble and X.
Yeah, weren't we
Me
sent
too.
on YouTube a couple?
Sometimes.
Yeah, we'll start doing that a little bit, I guess.
Trumpet at $17, $10. Great show, guys. Here's another donation towards Carlin's show.
He was awesome yesterday.
Thank you, BB. But I don't owe that
awesome.
kid nothing. I don't owe him nothing.
Lucy's $1. I woke up after 2016 flu shot, nearly killed me. Love, 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 BB, helping everyone see the corruption.
Just for the record, I've had 32 flu shots.
32 flu shots.
I had to get one every year. 32 flu shots.
Because you're a nurse. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Steve Hopped, $1. I normally just listen to you guys while I'm at working, but since BB is on today, I had to arrange to be able to watch. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Afritz12345, $5 for BB. My fiance is a nurse, did not fall for the BS of the COVID vaccine,
Good for him.
but somehow can't comprehend that the other ones might be an issue too. Where would you point her for verifiable information?
I would have her start with Children's Health Defense. That is an organization that RFK actually helped found. And they've been looking at childhood vaccines and giving information out for years and years and years. The other one would be Del Bigtree's ICANN, the Informed Consent Action Network. That's another resource to just at least open your mind to an alternative viewpoint. It is hard. We've been told as medical professionals, as nurses, to trust the public health officials. Okay? I'm supposed to trust that whatever the CDC says is true. And then I then parrot that to my patients. Well, to bring us back full circle where we started the conversation today, and that's this ACIP committee. Well, I just demonstrated to you guys how corrupted the ACIP committee was. Captured by Big Pharma, whose goal is not our well-being, but it's to make money on the vaccines that they're manufacturing. So how is it that this public health agency that I'm supposed to trust is actually acting in the best interest of me and my patients?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know this for the longest time, but now that I know it, now I can't go back and just blindly trust any public health agency.
No, and it's sad.
None of them.
True. Yeah. A couple more for you. The Mr. Leota, $10. Love y'all. Mostly BB. Thank
That's
you, buddy.
awesome.
And then we got one more here. Isle Mom, $1. Are nutritionists reliable, or are they on the payroll?
Well, I think that, again, if we're moving into functional nutrition, and, what that basically is where they're looking at causes, right? What nutritional deficiencies might actually be contributing to whatever disease process you have, and trying to, address those first before you jump into pharmaceuticals. Because, honestly, you're not going to be able to fix a diet-induced illness with a pharmaceutical.
Yeah.
Right.
You got, and I think a large portion of the chronic illness that we are currently experiencing exploding is diet in nature, because our diet has changed so dramatically from when we were kids. We were not eating seed oils when we were 8 the way that an 8-year-old does now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
It is. It's awful. I don't feel like I can eat at the grocery store at all anymore, BB. Double L 555, $1. Lots of people getting vertigo right now out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. I think we got one more, Mick. $1. Mrs. Macro Tool Breaker. Great to see you all. Love BB. Thank you so much. It is great to see BB.
Hey, buddy, we're like almost 1,200 people in the room, and I don't know how many views, and the likes are we're almost to we meet every goal.
Yeah, smash that like button, would you?
Smash it.
Yeah, you want to do it?
No,
it's up to you.
Not in front of BB.
All right, we'll do it out of respect for BB.
Out of respect for the Queen.
We won't do the dumb song.
I will.
The Queen. Do the song. Please do the song.
Well, the Queen is asked, Matt. Ready?
Please.
Smash that like button. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. Smash that like button.
All right, there we go, BB.
There we go. I'm liking it.
I hate myself every time I do it.
That's
which is why I do it, so that people will destroy me in the
That is something I will not do later on my show. So I want to bring this ACIP thing back full circle so that you guys understand, because what they think they did, they didn't do. So the American Academy of Pediatrics files this dumb lawsuit. This rogue ass judge up in Massachusetts says, I'm going to halt all the stuff that you're doing. Now, think about that. A judge, judicial branch, is telling a committee under the CDC, which is the executive branch, what they can and cannot do. What happened to the separation of powers in our Constitution? Yeah. So on April the 1st, and when all of this happened, I know you guys didn't see it because you don't watch the stuff that I watch, but on social media, in the health freedom movement, everybody's hair was on fire. RFK isn't doing anything. He must be compromised by pharma. He's just sitting back. He's just letting this happen. And I'm like, let's just bide our time and let's just see what happens, because April the 1st, again, March 16th, the injunction. March 18th and 19th, ACIP was supposed to meet, but the injunction stopped it. Guess what happened April 1st? The charter that governs the ACIP committee expired. So all of those things that I told you, the American Academy of Pediatrics based their lawsuit on. Yeah. Oh, you fired the committee members. Well, that was based on an old charter. Oh, well, those committee members, took votes and made recommendations, and the CDC responded. Well, that was based on the old charter. So April the 1st, the new charter was submitted to RFK as HHS secretary. The secretary actually has the final authority. The previous charter emphasized that members must have specific expertise, say that fast a couple of times, in immunization practice. Actually, I got a couple of graphics I can show you that just kind of bring this up really easy for folks to see. We'll do that one, and then we'll do the second one. If you want to throw that one up, Matt. And then that one. Okay, so first, the new charter clarifies and expands the committee membership criteria. So instead of just vaccinologists and epidemiologists who are often compromised by the industry ties, like we already reported, members can now be drawn from a wide range of fields, including medicine, toxicology, data science, pediatric neurodevelopment, and vaccine injury.
Wow.
Secondly, this new charter places a new emphasis on vaccine safety. While the previous version of the charter never mentioned risks of vaccines at all, the new charter mentions it 5 times. And while the old charter mentioned safety only 3 times, the new one has it 10 times.
Amazing.
And then adds this welcome language. ACIP shall also be responsible for reviewing data on vaccine safety and adverse events. Wait a minute. Remember I was telling you guys the March 18th and 19th one that got nixed? They were supposed to be talking about vaccine injuries and adverse events.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm. Now it's in the frickin' charter. So good luck getting a judge stopping you now.
Yeah.
Right.
So additionally, providing recommendations to enhance vaccine safety surveillance and advising the CDC on gaps in vaccine safety research. We just talked about some of those gaps. Hey, how about the fact that there's no studies on, how our immune systems respond to the vaccine without aluminum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this is part of the charter of ACIP.
Unbelievable.
Evaluating the risk-benefit profiles of vaccines based on ongoing surveillance and new research, considering analysis of cumulative effects. Didn't we talk about that? We had a question about that.
Yeah.
Now ACIP, it's in the charter for ACIP to actually address cumulative effects of vaccines, and not just the vaccines, but all the additives as well, like aluminum. And engaging in a reanalysis. So now they're going to go back and look at all of the vaccines that have already been approved of vaccine safety and efficacy as gaps are identified. And then if you want to throw that second one up.
Sure. Let me see here. There we go.
Third, the charter adds multiple new liaison representatives to the committee. So these will not be committee members who vote, but these are going to be liaisons that actually contribute to the discussion, including the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons, the Independent Medical Alliance, that's Dr. Pierre Corey and Paul Merrick, the old FLCCC that were so vocal during COVID, the Medical Academy of Pediatrics and Special Needs, and Physicians for Informed Consent. These pro-safety, pro-informed consent organizations will bring welcome balance to the many pro-pharma liaisons.
We're cleaning it up.
This is freaking huge, guys.
Yeah.
This changes.
Holy crap.
And what it does is it rug pulls the American Academy of Pediatrics lawsuit. I mean, what are their grounds going to be now? Well, gee, we don't really like who you put on the committee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we have a new charter, so F off.
Right.
Love it, man.
You know
Absolutely
what?
love it.
You know, I'm figuring something out. Like BB is a warrior, right?
Yes, I am.
And she's a little tiny thing like me, right? Just these little tiny people, right?
But she's like a honey.
Chihuahuas, like a chihuahua.
Her and I both are like two little venomous little attack dogs just coming at it. But I'll tell you, when she says it, it hits so much harder, man. Get off your fat ass
Yeah.
and move.
I need that
Like-
phone call from you every day, BB, or a text message or something.
Yeah. Well, Matt, can you know BB said it
Scold
first?
me off of the couch.
Can you just know BB said it first and then
Yeah.
I text it to you every day?
Yes, sure.
Get off
Well,
your fat ass.
here's the thing here for me, and it's just what I've adopted. I get it. Not everybody's going to adopt it.
Yeah.
When I woke up during COVID, I was livid
Right.
at the when the weight and depth of the amount of deception
Yeah.
kind of hit. I was so angry. And then when you ask the question, the next logical question is, well, if they lied to me about that, what else have they lied to me about? And you start trying to find the answer to that question, and you just keep going and keep going. That's how my show was born, was that question. What else have they lied to us about? And
Maybe, are there more nurses like you that are awake and do know this stuff?
Maybe
Or are you
somewhere,
a unicorn?
not anywhere where I work.
You're kidding me. You're
No.
alone in this, BB.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let me give you a
Yeah.
hypothetical. And I mean, sincerely, a hypothetical. Let's say a doctor ordered something for a patient under your care, and you knew for a fact that what he ordered would not be good for the patient. You know it and you can prove it. Would you be fired for telling the patient when the doctor's not in the room, I don't agree with the doctor, I'm going to send you a link, I'd like you to read? You would be fired.
Yes.
Now, under what grounds?
Insubordination.
But that's not a
now,
law.
now legally, if a doctor, if let's say you're allergic to penicillin,
Yes.
and the doctor orders a penicillin-based antibiotic for you because 99% of the time they don't even look at your allergies or the medications that you're on.
Correct.
We do. They don't.
Right.
Then I can say to the doctor, you ordered this, the patient's allergic to penicillin. Did you want to change that? Okay. And 9 times out of 10, they'll go, oh, yeah, we'll give them this instead. So I do not have to follow an order that is contraindicated, like, say, in that allergy scenario that I gave you.
That makes sense, though.
But for instance, here's another example. There is a doctor that I know that I had the MTHFR gene mutation conversation with. Her and her husband went and got tested, and it explained a lot of the medical issues that they were having. And she understood that half of the country has this gene mutation, and yet Tylenol is still ordered for every patient.
Unreal.
BB,
crazy.
What can people...
How do you know the truth, not know whether or not your patient is MTHFR positive or negative, and order Tylenol safely and without compromise? I don't understand. The only thing that I can say to you is that we in medicine, and I say we because I can't other myself from it. I'm in it.
Right.
I can't other myself. I participated in this. I was indoctrinated by this. I carried this out for year after year after year. So I can't sit in judgment of folks who are still believing the lies.
No, you and they
believing
are
lies.
And where do you go to change that? Where can you go to get that?
I open my mouth as
happen?
much as I possibly can. It's gonna, it's gonna catch up with me. Gonna catch up with me.
BB,
but as far as I'm concerned, as long as there's a First Amendment, I will sit in front of this camera and on this microphone, and I will continue to tell the truth until they lock my ass up.
I love it, BB.
BB, I love you.
It's amazing.
You're a patriot beyond.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. I don't even know if this is stupid. What if people, you know how the left always protests everything, right? No matter what it is, right? You're opening up a peanut store. They'll protest it because somebody has an allergy. Fine. What if we started protesting things like hospitals? Just show up in front of hospitals with signs that just say certain things, like demand answers about this question.
Because people are lazy, first of all. People are lazy. Secondly, people are lazy. They're not going to do it. Okay. Secondly, people are just not that motivated. And third, I don't believe that all of the what we have been led to believe is organic protests from the left are indeed organic protests. I think they are paid activists to push a narrative that if without paid activists, would we even see the left doing anything?
No, they wouldn't. No, of course not. It would look like bingo night at a VFW.
Well, they wouldn't exist.
Exactly. I think it's manufactured. I think all of the public outrage and protesting we see is manufactured.
But I think Q taught us something cool, which is that you can kind of use their systems against them.
Yeah.
So even if it's grassroots, You just show up right at the sidewalk where the hospital entrance is with signs, right? And just ask nothing bad about anybody. Just demand your doctor answer this question. What is blah, blah, blah? I'll go out there and do it. I'll stream it.
I like that RFK. I like RFK's vision on it. He says, RFK just says, make everything transparent. You know, the reason that we have all been kind of lulled to sleep is because nothing was transparent to us. RFK is like, good, bad, or otherwise, man, I want to put it all out there. Hey, did you guys know that RFK is starting his own podcast?
I love it.
Oh yeah. He's going to be starting a podcast where he's just going to get in front of a microphone and tell the damn truth. And I am so there for it.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to listen to. But I'll tell you right now,
I love that he's doing it.
If that some bitch comes with closed captioning,
there you go.
Hey, you know, BB, when we start talking about this stuff, it really does sort of, for me anyway, in our position, it really feels neat because you can see how you can organically start to address these things just by talking to the people that use the things. Forget attacking the board. Forget attacking the companies. Just go right to the people and say, hey, they're going to give you some shit-ass medicine that's going to turn your colon into a cinder block. You might want to ask about it.
This is why I'm doing the show.
The message, and people are going to start to say, no, thanks. I'm not going to take Tylenol. When I started this show, I was like, I just want to talk to like 50 people because I'm wearing out my friends and family. Like if I could just talk to 50 people, then they might talk to one or two more. And then at least I'm helping to get the truth out. And now it's thousands. We vote with our dollars.
You know, I'm noticing, and this is good news for everybody in the world. I pay attention to weird things so that I can figure things out. About 4 months ago, if you said the word Q on Facebook, you get squashed, not erased, but they would hammer down your profile, almost take it out of the algorithm. I'm a guy that can put a post up, usually get, I don't know, a couple hundred comments. Matt's seen it 100 times, right? I started talking about this. Every comment gets 4 views. I'm just laughing at it. But BB, I'm going to start believing you're about to blow up. Here's why. I really think, I saw something on Facebook last night that was a Q debate. They're letting this stuff go now.
Nice.
It's unfolding in front of our eyes.
I would love to get back on Facebook. I'm still suspended. Suspended. I can't even get on there to do my show because I had the audacity to tell the truth during COVID.
Yeah, you know what's funny though? I bet if you write and say that, listen, I'm gonna, I might have to file a lawsuit because I think I can prove that you squash the truth. I'm going to need you to reinstate me. Just see what happens.
That's something.
Yeah. BB, before we talk about your new show, first of all, would you be, I don't want to put you on the spot. Would you be willing to take a couple live calls if we go to them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so,
I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to answer them, but I'll take the call.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we'll be able to understand them. So don't worry about it.
So before we do that, though, let me ask you, you had mentioned that we're not reading the stuff you're reading. So what are the big things you think people should be reading? Even if they don't want to go in as in-depth as you do, what are some important things that people should be glancing at least occasionally that would affect their health?
So this is a vaccine package insert.
Yeah.
And this is ridiculous, right? Look at this thing. And good luck trying to read this small print, right? This is a flu vaccine insert. The truth, and I have a video if you want to play it, Bobby Kennedy telling us the truth about vaccine inserts. I'll throw that up. This is where the truth is about any medication or any vaccine for you, your children. This is where the truth is. And even if you can't read all of this little teeny tiny dumb writing, we have this awesome thing now that we didn't even have access to a year ago, guys. Not really. And that's AI. Go into Grok right now and say, hey, Grok, can you show me the vaccine insert for this year's flu vaccines? And read it. And if it's too complicated, then you come back to Grok and you say, hey, Grok, can you dumb that down for me into more simple terms that I can understand? And Grok will do that for you. Read that and then make an informed decision.
Yeah.
The problem for us is that we haven't been making informed decisions. Our doctor tells us to do it, and we do it without any information.
Yeah.
We have to demand information, and this is where we get the information about all the things that they want us to swallow and inject. It's right here.
Great advice.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Let me put that video up. Let me see. Okay. Here we go. There's RFK about vaccine inserts.
All right.
Every one of those diseases that I mentioned to you, the neurological, all of these diseases, juvenile diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, etc., are listed as vaccine side effects on the manufacturer's inserts of the 72 doses of vaccines that are now mandated for our children. So there's 405 listed side effects in total in all those vaccines. And those are a list of all of the diseases that have become epidemic after 1989. Do you think that's a coincidence?
Yeah, what a coincidence, isn't it?
And by the way,
it's an amazing coincidence.
By the way, the only place that the vaccine companies are honest is on that vaccine insert where they have to list it, because under VICA, under the Vaccine Act, you cannot sue a vaccine company no matter how negligent or reckless they are, no matter how grievous your injury. The only way you can sue them is if they know about a side effect and they fail to list it on their manufacturer's insert. So they list autism on one of the vaccines.
Right.
Publicly, they say no. And then other people would pull off it, and hotels will say, oh, well, the companies just put everything, throw the kitchen sink in there.
Yeah.
Themselves from liability, but that's not true. The federal law says that they're not allowed to list anything on that manufacturer's insert unless FDA determines that it is likely that the vaccine caused that injury.
Wow. I can't wait 2 hours of that podcast, that voice. You know what I mean? But God, that is crazy what he just said. We don't. Yeah.
We lost your audio.
No, turn her on. Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
Do you know why his voice sounds like that?
No, I'm an asshole, so I apologize.
It's okay. His voice sounds like that because he was injured by a flu vaccine.
Is that right?
When you look at the vaccine insert for the flu vaccine, spasmodic dysphonia is listed as a side effect of a flu vaccine. He got that as a result of a flu vaccine.
BB,
he is a vaccine injured health secretary. You think we're not going to be addressing this shit, guys?
I love it. Hey, do you think how many vaccines do you think children need? Honestly, if everything you've looked at, first of all, do we need any? And secondly, if so, how many do you think? Just in your humble opinion.
My honest opinion of that question is that I don't know, because we don't have the data. There's no data that tells me safety and efficacy, right? So if we had data that showed, okay, the measles vaccine with no adjuvants, no aluminum, no BS in there, the measles vaccine against a placebo is safe. The measles vaccine against a placebo effectively stops a child from getting the measles without any adverse safety issues. In that case, if we had that data, I would say, well, of course you would want to, not have your child be miserable with the measles, if that were the case. The problem is we have zero data on what I just described.
Are we taking vaccines right now for anything that if we get will definitely die?
Yeah. I mean, you can die from all kinds. You can die from a cold. You can die from the flu.
You know what I mean? Like, is there a vaccine that we get or got that because of one single thing that would have absolutely killed us?
No.
Isn't that weird?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, the argument could be made if you were talking to somebody who's pro-vaccine. The argument could be made, well, of course you can die from measles. You can die from the flu.
Yeah.
People die from the flu every year in the millions, right?
Right.
So yeah, but that argument doesn't mean that taking the flu vaccine prevents those deaths.
Correct.
Because
No, I'm with you.
we've seen, like just this past flu season, that there was negative efficacy, meaning if you took a flu vaccine, you were more likely to get the flu.
Yeah, that's why. You know what? I never got the flu. I never got the flu shot, and that was why people would always tell me, "Oh, it's a dead virus. You can't get it from the shot." But I would get the flu shot, immediately feel like I got the flu, and have this head cold and a fever a lot of the times, and had to lay down and go to sleep after I got the stupid flu shot.
Well,
Yeah,
isn't there real science, BB, to the fact that if you get the flu and get through it that year, you usually only get it once, yet you've probably been in contact with it 1,000 more times.
And aren't they giving you like one strain from last season? And it's not
Well,
necessarily
normally, like the flu vaccine that I'm holding up here, this is called the quadrivalent flu vaccine. Okay. And this is from Sanofi, the manufacturer Sanofi. And this is their best guesstimate. So it's usually 4 different flu strains, and it's their best guesstimate to what strains we might encounter this season, right?
Yeah.
So it's a guess. And and there's a bunch of other crap in here that clearly isn't good for us. So bottom line for me, and again, this is my decision based on my research, and I'm going to continue to go back to that whole warrior ethos, right? Once I woke up to the fact that they're trying to harm me through food, through medicine, through vaccines, through the crap they're spraying in the air, through the crap they're putting in the soil, they're trying to harm me. They want me dumbed down, sick, weak, and dependent on them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do everything I can to not be in that position. So for me, I will never take another vaccine as long as I live.
Wow. Hey, everybody in the room and watching at any time, please, if you have an X account, this isn't for us. This is for BB. Forward this.
Thank you.
Share it. Get her this. We mean nothing. We're a circus act.
We're the doorman.
Yeah, this is the real stuff.
BB's show is linked in our description, so you can go down to the description right now,
Yeah.
click on her link, and follow her on Rumble if you don't already, and you can also follow her on X. We've got both of those things linked.
Matt, I think we're going to have to start doing 7 shows a day.
I think so too.
I
There's
can't
just
keep
too
all
much.
this information,
There's too
man.
much. So, BB, your new show, Deception Distilled, debuts this Friday, 5 p.m. East, with Patrick Gunnels. Tell us about this show.
So part of what we are discovering is that, we do these long format shows, right? And we can get in depth into these conversations and really kind of dig down on things. But there's a lot of people who just don't have the time or the inclination to sit for these long format discussion conversation shows. So Patrick and I came up with an idea that we would do a 1 hour, just hit the health headlines and the narratives for the past week and hit it hard and fast in under an hour, so that when you watch the show, you'll feel like, okay, I'm caught up on the things that are happening on the health front that maybe got kind of buried under the big stories, because, like a lot of people didn't even know about this ACIP charter hitting because, Iran, or Swalwell
Artemis.
or Artemis, there's all those front burner issues that eat up all the bandwidth. But then there's these kind of things that are simmering on that back burner that are really going to change the direction of our well-being and our health. Just not quite yet. It's coming. You can see it simmering and increasing as all of these other things are taken care of first. Because I think that this is the explosion. this is it's one thing for us to determine and to accept, hey, our politicians are POSs and they're all engaged in a bunch of gross stuff that they're being blackmailed for, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's not too difficult. Hey, they've been ripping us off and, with all this fraud and stealing taxpayer money, to fund their campaigns and to cheat in elections. Okay. You know how it gets real personal real quick? When a mama is lied to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And a mama unknowingly harms her child listening to the advice of a public health agency, when that shit hits, it is game on.
Yeah, man.
You're going to see. I think that is going to shake the public.
I'm sweating thinking about it. Now, BB, here's what I'd like to do. There's a couple people down
Much
here.
needed show Friday night, 5 p.m. Watch BB and Patrick.
Yes,
this Friday night.
And you got to love Patrick.
Absolutely.
Two mama bears I wouldn't mess with. I love that guy. Hey, Matt, what we're going to do, everybody, before we bring you on with BB, we have a couple people back here, so I want to try to get through them. So we'll say hi real fast, ask your question, then we're going to remove you, and you can watch it in the show. We'll let BB respond. All right, so whoever you want to bring in first, Matt.
Coco Bear Nizzy.
There she is. Hey, Coco, how's it going, girl?
Hi, BB. BB, we love you. We love your show. I am so on board with what you're doing. I'm a nurse by trade. Only lasted 5 years because of all the bureaucratic BS. So I stepped out, and you are so on target. Thank you so much for what you do, Matt and Jeff. Matt and Jeff. No,
yeah, Mutt and Jeff. More like that.
Please, just wanted to say ciao.
See you,
Thank
sweetie.
you so
Thank
much.
You.
Yeah.
All right, who we go to next?
We'll
Thank
talk
you
to
so
Cornelia
much.
from Germany right now. Hey, Cornelia. You were live.
Hello.
Hello, Cornelia.
BB, Willie, my husband and I did not take the jabs, the COVID jabs. We don't believe in it. But people around us, our Bible study group and neighbors, they took it. And after when they started with the boosters, both of us became ill, but myself very ill. I could not go upstairs. I was totally out of breath. My heartbeat went totally bonkers. I lost a lot of hair. I'm bald on the top of my head. And I just stayed weak for years. I'm actually at the moment coming to a point that I can carry stuff in my hands when I come upstairs and things like that. Is this from shredding?
Yes, from shedding. Yes, that is an indisputed scientific fact that shortly after vaccines, exosomes are shed primarily through exhaled air. It can also come through sweat through the skin. I experienced that same thing during COVID, working in a small area where all of my coworkers were getting vaccinated and boosted. My symptoms was significant joint pain all throughout my body. Like I felt like I had rheumatoid arthritis all over my whole body. Now, whether or not that is specific spike protein, I don't know. I can't speak to that specifically. It's above my scientific pay grade, but we do know that vaccines are shed. If you're around somebody that recently got a flu vaccine, same thing. They're seeing now mRNA vaccines being given to pets and reporting that actually your pet can shed mRNA vaccine to you and your family.
Jeez.
So yes, it's real. And, if you want more information on it, hit the AIs, ask the questions. I want people to start asking AI more questions and use the AIs against each other. I do it all the time. I'll throw something into Perplexity and Alter and Grok, and I'll work them against each other to try to prove what's real, what's not.
I do that all the time.
Great answer. Yeah, I think you have to do that now. Chew Man, you're on Above the Rabbit Hole.
Hey, how you doing? You're looking at Chrisfield City Line right there, water line.
Nice office, buddy.
Wow, what a
Hey,
place.
I wanted to let BB know what I've been taking for almost 4 years, and I've managed to cure everything that's wrong with me. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not without getting kicked off.
Go ahead and say it.
Oh my God.
It's ivermectin, horse paste.
Why can't you say? Are you not allowed
Yeah.
to say that? I don't even know how that works.
I don't know. We're
So,
not gonna say it.
If you're not allowed to say that, I apologize to everybody. I don't know.
No, actually, this evening on my show at 8:00, we're going to be covering ivermectin, being this massive study that they just did on ivermectin in cancer and ivermectin in arthritis.
That's tonight at 8.
Tonight at 8,
Oh,
Doses of Deception.
I'm so there. Yeah, I can't wait for this.
You're doing ivermectin tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I just those two topics because there's recent information coming out about ivermectin and cancer. It's a study done by the McCullough Foundation, and then the Wellness Company actually put out a recent article where they cited 23 different studies and how it is that ivermectin actually stops the inflammatory process in osteoarthritis. So
Hear
really,
a lot about ivermectin.
So
I think it's going to be the penicillin of our generation. I really do.
that's amazing.
I really do.
I hope our teeth get better. You know, horses get them big teeth. Man. We can start eating different foods, man. Always wanted to eat a carrot through a fence.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've never done that. I think that'd be fun as hell. Get them big ass teeth out front there. Let's take another. Let's go to
Here's
Outlaw.
Outlaw Dogs.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, thanks for the raid, guys. Yesterday, I got over 2.5 thousand views. So thank you.
All right,
that's amazing.
Mama, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hi, BB. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I watch
you.
the show all the time. I gotta. This is real personal. It's about my brother, who is an Air Force veteran. He went into the hospital. My dogs are gonna bark, hence my name.
I love this.
Yeah, that's Clyde.
You can't get this on Fox.
That's right.
You spit the
You
truth.
always
back
got to
there, by
deliver
the
the
way.
mail at this time of day. I swear to God. It's
Oh
right.
yeah.
God,
Oh yeah. Just
talk.
talk over him.
Yeah,
Okay,
we don't
all right.
care.
So at any rate, he went to the hospital just before Thanksgiving, had his gallbladder out. Little while later, he had complications. It was oozing or something. I don't know. I'm not down there. He's in North Carolina. I'm in Pennsylvania. And my mom is basically disabled. She can't drive. She's, taking care of his daughter at the moment. And he's back in the hospital for that infection. They put a stint in or did something. He's on a feeding drip. And I don't know what kind of freaking drug, but he's like a zombie. He's been there from Thanksgiving to April. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to get him the hell out of that hospital. I'm trying to find a medical advocate. I told my mother to call a damn senator because we honestly do not know what to do. I feel like the hospital, and I've heard other stories, is taking advantage of my brother's situation because he's a veteran, and President Trump signed the EO order that said if you're a veteran, you go to the hospital, they take care of you, we pay for it. I
Yep.
think they're keeping him drugged up so they can just charge USSAID or whatever that's called. Am I crazy?
I don't think you're crazy. Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
shaking
if
'cause,
the incentive is to run as many tests as possible. Now, I will say that a lot of the hospital systems, there has to be a working diagnosis for them to justify continued inpatient hospitalization because there's depending on your diagnostic code. For instance, average stay for pneumonia is X number of days. If you're beyond X number of days, then the hospitals are not meeting marks and they have to justify that continued stay. So I'm not sure because there's a lot of information about your brother's story that I don't have.
Yeah, exactly. I told my mom she gets there to
you're
try to take
identifying
pictures of his chart.
Yeah, you're identifying a huge need. What I would recommend, it was what I did when my sister was in the hospital, was that I had access to her electronic chart, and up here it was called My Chart. And and she let me get into her chart. And you know what I did? I took screenshots of everything and I threw it into AI and I said, tell me what's going on. So it's a great tool for families now that we have all of this electronic charting to start screenshotting. What did that CAT scan show? What does that chemistry lab show? Throw it into AIs.
Wow, that's
and
interesting.
throw it into a couple of different AIs. You may not get all of the information, but it will help you understand things better, and it will give you a direction to at least start asking the right questions.
Right.
So that would be my recommendation.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This
You're
is
welcome.
amazing. Hey, listen, you keep doing your show too, by the way, okay?
Oh, I will. You
Every-
guys are my Monday guys. I get my best views on Monday because of you
All right.
guys.
We'll give
And
you some
because
love
of the
whenever we can.
Community and Cornelia and Willie from Germany follow me. I'm very, very honored.
I love that.
That's amazing.
That's
honey.
nice.
Well,
They're
keep
amazing
doing
people.
you. That's what's so cool about all this.
All right, I love all of
Great
you.
show. All right.
BB Maguire, you are I don't like to curse in front of ladies, but a freaking national treasure. I'm not
Oh,
kidding.
thank you. Thank
It's
you.
unbelievable, man.
There might be a couple in here for her. Let's see if there are here. Meg Gas, $1. I had vertigo for 2 weeks straight out of nowhere. Went away when I left Joppa, Maryland.
Yeah. There's something going on here in Maryland. There's something going on.
Well, can I say something?
Go ahead.
There's, I think, 3 or 4 seriously active military bases within like 60 miles of everything between BB and us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I was just in Alabama and Panama City, Florida this past weekend because our son got promoted in the Coast Guard, which was quite an honor to participate in that ceremony and be a part of that. But the thing that I noticed was I kept looking up at the sky going, oh, so that's what clear blue sky looks like. I can't remember the last time I saw that in Maryland. Just a clear blue sky day.
Yeah, you're right.
You never see it. You always see them.
A lot of
whatever they are,
streaks.
chemtrails,
Correct.
whatever.
All over
Yeah.
the
Correct.
place.
And so they're spraying us like bugs with something. I don't know.
This is amazing.
Cornelia from Germany, $5. Mickey, ask BB, is shredding of the
Yeah,
COVID vax a reality?
Yeah.
Willie and I did not take any vax, but we became very ill. So we just spoke with her,
Yeah,
of course.
we spoke with the great Cornelia from Germany.
And this is, how do you say that, Mick?
Hold on. I'm going to go with
Liddy the Hun,
Liddy the Hun.
$17. You are the Qth on the leaderboard again.
The cute.
We were 17 earlier today. I didn't
The
tell you
cute.
that.
Yeah, no, I took a
Yeah.
picture of it.
Yeah.
I have a
That's
picture of
fantastic. The Qth.
The
Yes.
That's
cute.
great.
Wait a minute. Go back up to that name. I'm sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
I want to make sure. Okay. However you say it.
Liddy the Hun.
Liddy the Hun. I promise you, if I forget to mention you every time I say we're in Qth Place, it's totally yours, sweetheart. Man, whoever you are.
That's
All right.
fantastic.
$1. Please put a call in link on description or comments page. Chat link isn't working.
I don't know.
We'll have to look in to see what
Yeah.
some people got through though.
Yeah.
Annie Sequoia, $1. I consult with a nutritionist who uses muscle testing, which has been extremely helpful. We are also unique, so our needs are unique. Loving the show. BB is a wealth of knowledge. By the way, we have somebody who does muscle testing coming up on our show this Thursday.
Yes.
Fantastic.
One of the
See,
people.
you guys are all over it.
Yeah, somebody
And-
we met in Dallas actually.
Uh-huh.
Fest.
If it's okay with you two, BB, you're amazing. Tonight, 8:00. Was it Doses of Deception?
Yes.
It's literally the best medical information show that I've ever seen, and you're the best host, without a doubt. Matt, you know I love you. Oh, wait, you got to read those?
We got a couple more. Yeah.
Yeah, go
Steelers
ahead.
77, $20. Came here because of Rambo and Dave. Stayed here because of you both. Look forward to your shows every day. Literally laugh out loud daily. XOXO Christy. Thank you, Christy. That means a lot.
Nice.
That means so much, even though she's a Steelers fan and I'm a Ravens fan. But I love her. At $17 making me love her, whatever it is.
Coville, $1. BB, you remind me so much of my late mom, who was a nurse for years. She didn't vaccinate my sister and I back in the mid 80s. She would have loved you. You bring her so much validation. Thank you.
But I, as a disclaimer, I fully vaccinated my children. I gave them
No,
all of them
anybody
because I
did
believed
back
it.
then.
Well, you thought you're doing
I
the right
believed
thing.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
I
Yeah.
vaccinated mine.
And I'm angry about it. I'm
Me
angry
too.
about it.
Me too, man. Go ahead, Matt.
Abe Froman, $5. Can someone repost the call-in link? People must be having issues. It's the end of the show. We'll keep an eye on that in the future.
Yeah.
Deborah Korn, $9.19, $5 from a naturopathic doctor who appreciates BB and her truth. Did I say that right?
Naturopathic.
Yes. Naturopathic, yeah.
And then I think we have two more. Actually, this is the last one. News Treason, $10. BB Maguire being on the screen almost makes Mickey bearable to look at.
And $10.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, but I'll say this though, and $10 is almost enough for me to read that bastard's name on my show.
I got one. We do have one more here. Coville, $1. When the C-19 jab mandate got put on the U.S. military, I had 18 years in the Army at the time. I led a group of fellow like-minded soldiers as to how to fight it. We won and all got promoted in the end.
Yes.
That's incredible.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. Triumphant at 17, $5. I just felt like after hearing BB's voice, I needed to pay in. Hey, Mickey, stand up already.
You son of a...
Thank you. Thank you all for today's show.
Hey, let me tell everybody.
Mickey's actually taller than me, so.
I am.
You are.
BB was my favorite person to be next to in Dallas.
You are taller than me.
I kept telling her husband, bro, I'm only standing here because I look good in pictures.
Right.
Hey, I got to tell you guys, I want to end this with a really funny story. But first of all, BB, sincerely, Matt and I talk about this. You are truly incredible. Like, you are as good as anyone I have ever seen describe anything. So thank you.
And thank God you're doing what you're doing. Really.
For real,
you
man.
know.
But
it's going to make a meaningful difference in a lot of people's lives.
If it only helps just one person, then I've done what God asked me to do.
You know, in comedy, there's a saying that if you can make just only one person laugh in the audience, you're in the wrong business. You know? I got to tell you guys this funny story. So Shannon has battled weight and things for a while, right? And one time she hired, a nutritionist. And what happened was one day, and she paid like $350 or whatever it was, crazy. They did a whole diet. They did a routine for her, like everything you'd ever want. So about a month later, she comes to me and she goes, I fired my nutritionist. And I said, why? And she said, she kept trying to make me start. Now, I swear on my life that is a true story, and it's the actual truth. The woman called her like 3 weeks in a row and was like, Shannon, you can start today. Hey, let's get going or whatever. And then one day Shannon's like, look, I got to fire you. I got too much to do.
That's so funny. That reminds me of a hypnosis client that I had many years ago.
Yeah.
Who came to me for weight loss. And she was like, she came in for her second session and I was like, how'd it go? And she said, well, I wanted to see how well this works. So I went home and ate a pie. And I was like, no, that's not, that's not how this works.
Yeah, you might want to read that book again. Yeah. All right, BB. What an amazing day. I hope everyone tunes into you tonight.
Yeah.
I will do my best to stop by if I can, BB. You're amazing. Awesome. Thank you, and we love you.
We'll be watching the new show this Friday, of course, as well, with Patrick Gunnels, Deception Distilled, this Friday, 5 p.m. East as well. So thank you so much, BB. We appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, BB. Dude.
Amazing,
Hold
right?
On. Let's really, okay. We started a show about conspiracy stuff, right?
Yeah.
We wanted to learn about Q. So we did that. And we thought, all right, we'll meet some other cool people. Dude, how did we end up with all the best people in the world?
We are in a network of people who specialize in all the stuff we need to know in this world.
Do you realize I only specialize in not knowing things?
Right.
Like, that's my specialty, not knowing shit.
Well, now we specialize in finding stuff out and pointing people in the right direction for the right information. And we're so lucky to have such amazing patient teachers, for lack of a better term.
Truly incredible.
Yeah.
Like, what a great show today was. Very organic. Matt, I think we at one point were close to 1,200 people in the room on a Tuesday.
So thank you for being here.
Almost, dude. I don't think we could get it done by the end of the show. But if everybody could, if you haven't smashed that like button, please, everybody. It really helps us in the leaderboard, and it makes Matt and I feel like we're doing something good. So if you would, please smash that like button, and please, if you can, tune in to BB Show. Get us out of here, old man.
And we're going to see you tomorrow with, are we going to see her tomorrow?
Who's her? Paula? I haven't heard yet. I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's tentative, and it may be my fault that I missed a note. Maybe she couldn't, but
that's all right. 12 noon East tomorrow.
No
we'll see you then.
Paula. Yeah.
We're going to rate Rambo's show right now. You ready, buddy? First time's a charm. There it is, buddy. First
Look at you.
time.
You're so grown up. You know what it's like watching, Matt? Do you remember the first time Harmony could walk like a whole way from like the kitchen to the living room?
Like it was yesterday.
That's what this is like for me, dude.
Let's confirm it.
You're all grown up.
We'll see you tomorrow noon East. For those of you still with us, we'll give you the fun outro that we have here as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys.
Bye-bye.